So here's another one. Giants at the Cowboys. This line open up minus 11.5. It's down to 9.5. Actually, it's minus 10 at Bookmaker. So I wonder if it's going to move up here. So who do you like in this game?
Yeah, I like the Giants in this one. The Cowboys should be 0-4, and it just feels like people aren't realizing this. I don't think that the Cowboys are very good. They don't have anything on defense at all. I know their offense has been very good this year, but at the same time, they've been playing from behind a ton. So they've just been able to rack up a lot of yards because they've had to compensate for a defense that allows the most points per game in the league at 36.5 and the third most yardage as well. So I think for starters, I think the Giants can move the ball on this defense, provided that Daniel Jones gets the ball out of his hands quick. And, you know, we saw him for the most part last week, at least avoid critical mistakes until the interception at the end. So I think that was an encouraging sign, and then maybe he'll be back on track again soon. The other thing that I'm going to be watching in this is technically a revenge game for Jason Garrett. As my boss put it, he's excited to see what happens here because he has no idea how that will work. Because a revenge game for Jason Garrett could be like, all right, guys, let's get motivated. Everyone's like, what? Why? Like he could just fail to motivate everyone. I don't know. But what I'm saying, if I'm Joe Judge, though, is like, why does everyone think the Cowboys are that much better than us right now? Like they're potentially 10-point favorites over the Giants. Like these two teams have not been all that different. I think if we're talking about the Cowboys having lost that game in Atlanta, then yeah, they're going to be favored because they have a great offense, and great offenses are always overrated, but they're not going to be a 10-point favorite over this Giants team. So I don't know if the Giants win this game outright, but I think it's possible at least. So the fact that we're getting 9.5, 10 points in that situation, like give me the Giants all day. Now I don't want to bet a ton on them, but I'll put 3 units on a very, very lopsided line that I think should be a lot closer to -4 than -10.
So you're saying his clapping isn't going to be motivating?
Yeah, that clapping's going to it's just going to start drowning out everything else. So all they think about is clapping during the game. So they're going to be giving the Cowboys some applause when they're on offense.
Maybe it'll help. Maybe the Cowboys will be confused, and maybe the Cowboys will have some bad flashbacks from Jason Garrett's coaching. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I actually had that in my head. I was like, this is a Jason Garrett revenge game. Like he knows the Cowboys personnel, and then I thought I was like, but does he really? Like he doesn't. I don't know if he really knows anything about this. But either way, I still like the Giants a lot. Like this line is way too high. I don't think the Giants should be favored by more than 6. Over any team in the NFL except the Jets. Like the Cowboys are a horrible team. Like their defense is just atrocious. And I think everyone praises their offense because Dak Prescott throws for 500 yards every week. But that wouldn't be the case if the Cowboys didn't turn the ball over so much. Like that's been the problem for them, is they keep committing turnovers. And they get all this great garbage time stats, and like it looks great for fantasy, but I don't think it's great offense. It's like maybe good offense, but it's definitely not great if you turn the ball over a lot. So if they do that again, like they're going to have to have another come from behind win, and it's going to be tough because they're going to be without their center Joe Looney. They're already without right tackle Lyle Collins. Who knows what we got out of Tyron Smith? He's not the same. He has a neck injury. He's just not 100%. So the Cowboys are down 2 offensive linemen, and their left tackle is not healthy. So the Giants, they're not like really built to take advantage of that, but they have some decent players on the defensive line. I know they have serious issues covering, but they can get some pressure, and they can stop the run pretty well. So I think the Giants should be able to cover the spread. They've been competitive in every single game this year except for Week 3 against the Niners. They got trashed in that game. Unfortunately, we had the Giants in that game. But Week 1 against the Steelers, they were in it until the fourth quarter, until Daniel Jones threw that interception. Week 2, they almost beat the Bears. They were one pass away from beating the Bears. And then Week 4, they were right in there at the end against the Rams on the road. So they've been competitive, and I think they'll stay competitive against the Cowboys, who, again, they don't deserve to be favored by this many points.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when they have, I think Brandon Knight is going to be starting at right tackle. And I'll be honest, I thought he was a basketball player. I did not know he had transitioned to the NFL. Obviously different Brandon Knights, but you get the point there. Yeah, the the Giants will keep this thing close enough. And the remarkable thing about the Giants, though, they have played close against the Bears and the Rams last week. Daniel Jones does not have a touchdown since the opener against the Steelers, and yet they've still been within one potential game tying drive of sending a game to overtime or winning a game. So, I mean, that's not like a good thing, but I mean, it demonstrates that they should at least cover this number for sure.
Yeah, you think so. And that's what makes the loss of the Niners that's so much frustrating. Like in week 3, the fact that they weren't able to stay close was just maddening. We had a couple questions about the Giants. How do I feel about the Giants winning the division bet a quarter way through the season? We actually discussed this before we started recording. If they win this game, they could be in first place after week 5 is over. So actually, I think I have it at either 16 or 18-1. So I feel pretty good about it. The NFC East is terrible. I wish Saquon Barkley didn't get hurt, but what can you do? And we had another question. As a Giants fan, do you still see the Giants in the NFC Championship? Obviously not, unless like something crazy happens and Daniel Jones like automatically improves a lot. But Saquon Barkley getting injured for the year killed them. So did Nate Solder opting out. I think those two things like hurt them a lot. And then Joe Judge hasn't been as great of a coach as we thought he might be, or as decent as a coach as he might be. But there's still time for him to improve. I'm not gonna write him off yet. But the fact that he has Jason Garrett on his staff is a little dubious.
He also has Fred Kitchens there too. So I think that's two things we brought that up at one point during the summer. We kind of wrote it off. Maybe that's a little bit worse than we thought it was.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not great, Bob. As to quote a madman.